taken place at several Russian air bases, some many thousands of kilometres from Ukraine. Two locations are understood to be in Siberia: the Belaya Air Base in southern Russia and the Olenya Air Base, which is in the north, near Murmansk. Well, the Ukrainian military has released footage which it says shows a line of Russian warplanes at Belaya. It appears to have been filmed by a drone and shows the aircraft exploding. Russian media is reporting the attack in Murmansk but says air defences are working. Our World Affairs correspondent Paul Adams is in Kyiv for us.
Far from Ukraine's borders, an attack of astonishing audacity. Russian strategic bombers picked off one by one by a fleet of drones. Ukraine calling this Operation Spider's Web, personally overseen by President Zelensky. One of Kyiv's boldest attacks so far, a reminder, despite Russia's overwhelming strength in numbers, that Ukraine is a resourceful, determined enemy. Sources say this took a year and a half to prepare. Dozens of drones smuggled into Russia, stored on wooden pallets, loaded onto trucks, driven to distant air bases and launched remotely. Swarms of drones picked up on social media from Siberia to the Arctic Circle. At a petrol station north of Irkutsk, a glimpse of the operation in progress. With smoke already rising behind, a drone emerges from the truck and heads off to join the attack. Moments later, another, and gunfire as police officers try to bring it down. From base to base, the smouldering aftermath testifying to the scope and ambition of the operation. Ukraine says it's done $2 billion worth of damage, a claim impossible to verify. Earlier, a different kind of wreckage, this the Ukrainian city of Zaporizhia, after the country suffered another major drone and missile attack. Elsewhere, 12 Ukrainian soldiers were killed at a training base, the head of Ukraine's land forces tendering his resignation. What chance then for another round of peace talks due to take place in Istanbul tomorrow? Russian and Ukrainian delegations are expected to be there, but after 24 hours of mayhem, the omens for a breakthrough do not seem good.
And Ukrainians have combined a concept of sabotage and just how difficult it is to not only detect a drone or swarms of drones, but actually take them down as well. And, I was speaking about this on the Ukraine cast just the other day with Lucy Hawkins. There's a lot of drone technology out there. Ukraine is leading from the front on that for offensive strike. But the bit which is really making governments struggle at the moment is how do you detect and then how do you shoot them down, especially if they're a swarm. And we can see from this video footage just how devastating the effect is. You're talking about strategic, long-range, deep attack assets. So you've got an A-50 in there which has been hit, which is an airborne early warning aircraft. You don't get many of those in inventories. And then you've got the Tu-95 Bear and the Tu-22 Tupolev Blackjack. But both of these aircraft can carry up to 8 cruise missiles and they can fly a long distance. We see Tu-95s coming around the Northern Cape, over the top of Norway, and then over the top of the UK and all the way down past Ireland. That's the range of these assets. So to have 40 of them taken out in this offensive drone strike by Ukraine will hit Putin really, really hard.
I just want to briefly ask you, because we're hearing reports on Reuters from Russia's